Alright guys, the blue tint Yeezys are coming up. If you're wondering the date, which you probably shouldn't by now, but I know some of you guys are newcomers to the Yeezy game, which is no problem, so I'll give you all the basic info. December 16th is the date so far, but you do know Yeezy Mafia likes to change up dates sometimes. Right now I'm trusting them. Retail price will be $220, like always on the V2s, and I'm going to be essentially giving you all the tips I've gathered within all of my experience. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to include, obviously, some of the essential tips that I talk about in all my videos. So anyone who's seen a how to cop guide before, anyone who's ever tried to get Yeezys, it might be a little tedious for you to hear that again, but for you guys, I have a lot more stuff that I need you guys to hear that I've just found out recently. Alright, so without anything further ado, let's get into how to cop them. So first of all, we just got a tweet from Yeezy Mafia saying what the stock was going to be like. And by the looks of it, it looks like there should be around 75k pairs. It's right between the creams and the Beluga 2.0s. If you know, the Beluga 2.0s were probably the easiest Yeezys to get so far. I hope you guys were able to get pairs. If you didn't, hopefully you could get these. So actually, I kind of want to hear your opinion. Do you think you're going to take a W, or do you think you're going to take an L? Like, I want to know how confident you are. I'm actually kind of curious. Like, are you super confident on this, or are you just like, oh, no, man, I'm taking an L? So, anyway, like I was saying, there's a lot of stock. Now, obviously, there's less stock than the Beluga 2.0s, but there's still a lot of stock. There's tons of stock to go around. In Australia, hopefully, you guys could get a lot more pairs than you've been getting because Adidas hasn't been treating you right. But let's continue. So, I'm going to be giving you my methods from where you would be able to cop the easiest to the hardest. So I'm going to give you the best methods to the worst methods, I guess you could say. But I would try all of them. I want you to try every single method that I'm providing in this video. And that's really just going to increase your chances with not only getting one pair, but getting multiple pairs. You know, one for the friend, one for the dad, one for the mom. You know, you're trying to hook up your friends, whatever. You want more than one, that's cool. So, the number one place to go, and I think most of you should know this, Adidas.com. Adidas.com is where I personally find most of my success for copying manually. I never use a bot. I never use any add to cart services. So Adidas.com is going to be your best shot manually, and that's because they use a splash page where they let you in randomly. It's not first come, first serve, so bots won't really overrun it. So I got some tips with Adidas.com. The first tip is going to be, don't use a VPN, guys. So, like I've said in previous videos, I've experimented with using VPNs. On the Zebra release, I had one specific VPN, which I no longer have because the computer broke, actually. But I managed to get in with that VPN and check out. Now, I just used a different VPN, and it kept saying server error whenever I tried to process the payment. So I ended up, while I was checking out for the Beluga 2.0s, I had to take off my VPN, refill my information, and do it again. So I wouldn't suggest using a VPN just because it's not worth the hassle, and you're going to want to be on the same IP address if you want multiple pairs. And I'm gonna get to why in a moment, but yeah, like I said, you want to be on the same IP address, and some of you might be saying, like, that's kind of weird. I wouldn't expect that, but trust me, guys. I'm going to get to it. So the next tip, you shouldn't have more than one tab on any computer. Now, recently someone commented that they had sort of a glitch or a bug. I don't know if that's what you would call it, but they had 3 tabs open, which I usually don't recommend, but now I might start advocating having at least like 2 tabs. If you have 5 to 10 tabs, 15 tabs, if that's even possible, you're gonna get kicked out of Adidas.com. All your devices will probably get kicked off too, because they're tracking the router. So I think you should try using, at least on one device, having 2 to 3 tabs if that's a possibility. And that's because when you get in from the splash page going to where you select your size, it's almost as if they let your whole router in. So any device on your Wi-Fi almost gets let in. And you might be wondering, well, that's never happened with any of my other devices. Well, it doesn't happen right away. It happens all within like a time frame. For me, and I thought this was just some wild coincidence, I got in 3 times, all within 10 minutes. I managed to check out on the Beluga 2.0s for all of them. Thank goodness. I'm really grateful for that. But I thought it was just some wild coincidence that it happened all within 10 minutes. But then I started checking the comments of my video. A lot of people were saying they were experiencing the exact same thing. So guys, I think we potentially may have just cracked a code. I don't know. I think they're letting in a router. They're not letting in IP addresses. IP addresses are for the devices. I think they're letting in routers, like your Wi-Fi. So whatever devices are on the Wi-Fi, here's what I'm going to suggest. And I'm not 100% on this. By no means am I 100%. I'm just advocating you try this on at least one of your devices. Perhaps you have 7 devices. You get in on one, right? You check out, you complete your payment. And if you're not in on any others, you know how it doesn't say refresh? Like it says don't refresh this page? Try refreshing that page. Or just open up a new tab on that same exact device, and there's just a slight chance that it will let you right into the size checking page without even having to go through the splash page. So it's worth a try to get multiple pairs. I wouldn't do it until after you get at least one of your pairs, after you're done processing the payment. Then you could try this. And that leads me to my next point, the processing payment glitch. When you're trying to process payment, this usually happens later in the release, and it just keeps loading, you know? You could be waiting for 5, 6, 7 minutes, and that 10-minute timer could be ticking down. And this is why I advocate using Chrome autofill. They give you 10 minutes to fill out all your info, but you might end up processing your payment for 9 minutes. So you have 2 options for this. And I did option 1, so I'm going to give you option 1 first. When you see a processing payment for too long, and by too long I mean over a minute, hit the back button. Don't refresh. Please don't refresh. Hit the back button. It'll take you to your information page for your payment or maybe your address. All you got to do, refill it, which shouldn't be hard if you're using Chrome autofill. Refill it and then process payment again. If it still doesn't work, do the same exact thing. On one of my computers, I had to do this 4 times, but after the 4th time, it processed the payment within only 10 seconds. So you could do that, or if you choose to wait it out, play the waiting game, option number 2 is simply to click process payment and watch it spin. Hopefully it doesn't go past that 10-minute thing. So this is going to happen to a lot of you. It's going to happen later in the release. Don't worry. It's common. We all get it. And now another problem that you may encounter is when you're selecting the size. Again, later in the release, this usually happens. And that's because they let too many people in and there's not enough stock to go around at the moment. You might be selecting a size. You might be seeing that a couple of sizes are available. And you might see you're doing the captcha. You're doing the captcha, but you're doing it more than 1 time, more than 2 times, more than 3 times. You're doing the captcha 10 times. And it gets really annoying, especially if you get the one with the cars. You got to look really closely. Sometimes there's like a tail of a car into the next one. Try to get the captchas right, guys. Don't rush. Slow and steady wins the race. But if you end up doing this, what I would suggest, try a different size. And I know a lot of you are saying, whoa, that's easy. Like, I've been trying different sizes and I'm still stuck. Try these specific sizes. These sizes last the longest. Hear me out. 7, 7.5, 8, 8.5. Those 4 sizes. If you happen to be trying to do the captcha multiple times and you're still not getting into the checkout page, 7, 7.5, 8, 8.5. Even if you're not that size, don't worry about it. You could resell that shoe and then get your size with the money you resold it for. You might end up losing a little money off of PayPal fees or whatever. But hey, you still got a pair of Yeezys for just a little over retail if you had to pay fees. So, if you're having this problem, always go for those 4 sizes that I just listed. Those are always around the longest. I don't know why it is. Maybe it's the supply and demand. They're making the same supply, but there's less demand for that. I don't know. But that will conclude it. Actually, no. I'm sorry. There's one more thing for Adidas. So as you guys know, they usually release around 10-ish. You know, like one time was 10:05, 10:08, and this is Eastern New York time. You could do the conversion for whatever time zone you are in. But it didn't happen. It happened for the Frozen Yellows, but on the Beluga 2.0s, it happened at 9 o'clock in the morning. So in my Beluga 2.0 Had a Cop video, I actually told you guys, wake up at 7 in the morning, eat breakfast, come downstairs, set up all your computers, all your devices, relax, and just be on the Adidas page before it becomes a splash page, just in case. And that's what I did, so I was able to get in early enough. If you're a little late, it's no big deal because they don't load stock on for 20 to 25 minutes, so you have no advantage being there a couple of minutes early. So that will conclude all my tips and tricks for Adidas.com. If you have any other tips and tricks, please leave them in the comments because I think you're going to be able to help someone else out, you know? This is a one big community, guys. We're all trying to help each other out. It's about the culture. It's about the fun of it, you know? I like this. So the next best chance you're going to have is Yeezy Supply. Now, Yeezy Supply is completely different than Adidas. Where Adidas, you need multiple devices, it's quite the opposite with Yeezy Supply. In fact, if you use more than 2 to 3 devices on Yeezy Supply, you're gonna get kicked out. Please, guys, don't make the mistake that I did on the Frozen Yellows. Well, I didn't really make the mistakes. I knew this was gonna happen. On one computer, I was checking out with the Frozen Yellows, and then I got the message saying I was banned. And I was like, that's so weird. I was fine. I was only on one computer. And then my dad told me he was trying to get a pair for himself, I guess. I think he wanted them to wear. I guess he liked them. So he said, what happened? I just got an error. So I'm like, oh my God. I told you not to go on Yeezy Supply. I was on Yeezy Supply. So you shouldn't have too many devices on Yeezy Supply. 2 devices is the most you should do. I got an error using 2 devices. I suggest just using 1, especially because it's all about speed. So there's going to be a lot of stock on Yeezy Supply. You should have a pretty good chance even if you're a little delayed. And here's your best chance to getting in first. Like being the first one in there on Yeezy Supply. Because if you're in there after Yeezy Mafia tweets, it's going to be tough for you to get yourself a pair. It's still possible because there's 75,000 pairs on Adidas. So that means, who knows, there might be like 300,000 pairs in total. 400,000 pairs, I don't know. But I'm going to advocate that you only use one computer, and what you should be doing, this is what you should be doing to get in as fast as possible. Don't refresh. You're going to get temporarily banned for 2 minutes, like 3 minutes, whatever it is, and you're going to be pissed, and you might be really worried because you're like, oh no, what if the password page goes away and they let you in while I'm temporarily banned? That's not going to be good. So you have to be really, really strategic with this. You should probably get a timer in your hands. And this is what I did, and that's how I got the Frozen Yellow V2s. I set a timer for every 25 seconds. I sometimes go a little early. I do 20 seconds. You should have a bookmark set up. Don't refresh. You should have a bookmark. So keep hitting that bookmark, but you can't OD on it. If you hit the bookmark too many times, you're going to get temporarily banned. So you have to time it. Yeezy Supply password page is usually up for 10 minutes or so. So I would wait 5 minutes before you even hit it once. After 5 minutes has passed, start hitting it every 20 seconds. No more. Maybe you could even do it a little less to be safe. If you so happen to get lucky, where within that 20 seconds, when you click it, it just so happens to be perfect timing where the password page goes away, you're going to get yourself a pair. And you're going to have access to any size. Now, if you're a little late to refreshing, like Yeezy Supply gets the password, like they tweet out password is gone now, it's up. They tweet out and then you're a little late. I would suggest going for size 7, 7.5, 8, 8.5. Personally, I wouldn't waste your time with any other pairs just because sometimes a size that isn't yours is better than getting no size at all. And that's what I did with the Yeezy Frozen Yellows. I went for a size 8 purposely. I'm a size 10, but I might end up wearing a size 10. I'm going to have to sell the size 8 first. Alright, so hopefully you guys can understand that. And, and another tip for, I forgot to mention this, I'm sorry guys, Adidas.com, you can use the same address. It's no problem that you're using the same address. You could even use the same billing address on your credit card. But if you're going to want more than one pair, I wouldn't suggest using PayPal. You could use PayPal once, but you can't use it more than once. Don't stay signed in, and you should be using different credit cards. Have them all ready. Have them all ready in autofill. Have the security codes ready. And same for Yeezy Supply. Now, Yeezy Supply, if you use different credit cards, you're fine. I've personally never gotten more than one pair on Yeezy Supply, and they do have the right to cancel your order if you're trying to get multiple pairs. I don't know how they're tracking if you're getting multiple pairs, if it's through your address or if it's through your card, because I do know that it's a possibility that 2 people in one household are getting one pair each. They have different credit cards but the same address. So if you want, you could change your address to your neighbor's address, have it shipped to them, let them know, hey, a box is coming, like maybe you could pick it up for me. That'd be super nice of you. But keep the billing address the same as your credit card. If you change that, it's going to mess everything up. It's not going to go through. Keep the billing address the same, but maybe try changing your home address. That's a possibility. You try what you want. On Adidas.com, though, address could be the same. I'm having 3 pairs sent to my house of Beluga 2.0s all on the same address. So you'll be fine there. Now, be aware, restocks. There's going to be restocks. This is a large release. They don't want Adidas to crash. They don't want Yeezy Supply to crash. So they don't release all their stock at once. So they do restocks throughout the day. I don't want you guys to ever give up. I want you guys on Adidas.com, Yeezy Supply. I want you in front of your computer all day. If you have somewhere to go, I understand that. But if you want to go watch some Netflix, if you want to go watch some football, college football I think is on Saturday, don't. If you want Yeezys, and if you're so worried about taking an L, you can't give up, guys. And I know some of you guys are saying, like, I spent 4 hours on there with 10 devices and I still took an L. I understand, guys. I feel that pain. Trust me. A lot of hard work that just doesn't pay off. All that time wasted. But you just have to trust me. Don't give up, guys. Even when it says sold out, I would still wait a little bit. Like, just hang out near your computer. Maybe Snapchat a little. Check Instagram. Then you could watch some YouTube videos or whatever. But have your stuff all set out ready. Because restocks are going to happen. I guarantee it. Yeezy Supply is going to get a restock, and that's because there is so much stock, guys. They don't want to release it all at once. So be ready for restocks. Be ready for restocks on Adidas and Yeezy Supply. So my next method would have to be using the Adidas Confirmed App. And now, if you guys remember from my last video, I tried Adidas Confirmed, and I took a massive L, and I felt like an idiot. My reflexes were so slow. I'll show you how bad it was. Now, ladies and gentlemen, this is what you call an idiot. So, what ended up making me really mad was that Yeezy Mafia tweeted out what it was going to be. They said, focus on the image, not the placement. And I feel like if I would have looked at that tweet, I would have gotten it. So let's pray, guys. Yeezy Mafia does it again for us. Maybe they won't do it for the US. Maybe they'll do it for Canada, Europe. I don't know. Maybe they'll even do it for Australia. I don't know if there's an Adidas Confirmed out there. I think there is. But let's hope that Yeezy Mafia shows us what it is again. I know they have access to what it's going to be. Let's just hope it wasn't just a Thanksgiving gift. So, next method. The Foot Locker Champs and Foot Action apps. Something has changed. You don't need the VIP membership anymore. I've just realized. And T-Times has actually commented on one of my videos. If you don't know him, he's a YouTuber. I would recommend checking out his channel if you ever get a chance. Love his videos, super informative, great advice. But he actually commented something that was pretty unique, and it related something I'm going to tell you. Hold on. He said that it doesn't really matter anymore. It's not a loyalty system. His brother only had a 6-minute head start. He didn't have the platinum status, and he got a pair. But T Times had 10-minute head starts on all three. He got waitlisted and didn't get any. So it's quite evident that you still have a chance with the 6-minute head starts. Now, I spoke to a Foot Locker employee about this, and he said that it's not minute head starts, which makes sense because there's no rush to get in. The minutes are actually entries. They're almost like tickets, like to get in. So obviously, if you dump 10 tickets into a hat, you're more likely to get your ticket pulled out than if you were to dump 6 tickets, aka 6 minutes. I think that's what it is. I mean, the guy seemed serious. He looked like he knew what he was talking about. So that's definitely it. My point is, though, you don't need the 10-minute head start to win. Download the Foot Locker, Foot Action, and Champs app, and go sign up there. Also, I don't know if Finish Line is going to be getting any pairs. I know they did for the Beluga 2.0s, but there's a possibility they might get them again for the blue tints. So, next one would be foot sites. Now, you're really just going to not get any pairs. I saw Damn D got a pair on foot sites. Damn D's a funny guy. I like that guy's videos. He's a pretty cool guy. He got a pair off of Eastbay, I believe. And that's pretty wild. I always thought that Eastbay and footlocker.com on release day, champs.com on release day would just be terrible options to go for because, I don't know, I always just got the feeling that bots would overrun it. But clearly, after getting multiple errors of adding to cart, he finally got in. So we all know Adidas.com, it doesn't happen at exactly 10 o'clock. It's never going to happen exactly at 10 o'clock. It might be 10:01, 10:02 or whatever. So I do advocate trying some foot sites, at least on one laptop or one computer. Just try them out. They all release at 10 o'clock Eastern Time, New York time. Give them a shot. It's worth a try. You might just get lucky like Damn D did. So, last one, and I really don't think you're going to win this one, especially because a lot of stores are backdooring pairs. It's sad, but it's true. But raffles. I signed up for a PacSun raffle. They called me up. I answered the phone, and I didn't win. I didn't win the PacSun raffle. No. I know Kicks USA did a raffle too. I also know that Foot Locker, Champs, and Foot Action, in addition to their application raffles, they also did like normal raffles with the tickets. So check all your local stores, all within the vicinity. Sign up for every single one. I'm telling you guys, if you try every single method, if you wait on Adidas.com all day for all the restocks, if you're sitting there for 8 hours, I can't guarantee you a W, but I can guarantee that you are most likely going to get a W, especially because the stock is so high. So, let me know, what do you think is going to happen? Do you think you're going to catch a W, or do you think you're going to catch an L? I want to hear how confident you are. If you happen to be new here, feel free to subscribe. I put out all this informative content. I try to do it in somewhat of an entertaining way. I know sometimes it could be a little boring because it's so factual. But I do put out some funny content. I do unboxing videos. Feel free to peruse my channel. Leave a like if you guys learned something. Add it to your How to Cop Guides playlist if you want to do that. I don't know. I'll see you guys later. Good luck. I don't think you're going to need too much luck on this one, to be honest, but still, good luck.
And that problem is transport. It take very, very long because Kazakhstan is big. Throw transport down the well.